it okay now? Is it okay now? Right. I think we are fine. Great. Right. I think we are fine. Great. Okay, so let people join again. Good morning. So yeah, we are going to talk about this stellium, which is happening in seventh in Capricorn sign. Okay, in different houses for every one of us. So we will talk house wise also, ascendant wise. Uh, First, if we go into the basic of this stellium, okay. So it is always better to understand any planetary position from its uh, earlier uh, earlier time periods, means when we had similar planetary positions earlier uh, in life. Okay, so right now all the planets are coming in Capricorn. uh, but if we just go back in our memory, one year ago, 1 year ago around the same time, we had same planets in Sagittarius sign. Okay, we had same planets transiting through Sagittarius sign, and it was a difficult time. Okay, if we just go back in our memory, it was a time when India had protest against CA and NRC. Okay, so there were there were lots of protests going on in matters of CA and NRC. In Australia, there was this fire incident, forest fires and all. So as Sagittarius is the fire sign, and all the planets were there in a fire sign, there were lot of fire all around the world. Okay, so now all of them are coming into Earth sign Capricorn. Okay, Saturn is already there from the beginning of the year. Then beginning of the last year, beginning of 2022, then 2020, beginning of 2020, and then Jupiter joined in November, and now Mercury is also there. by January 14th, we can say that Sun and Venus will also Sun will also join. By the end of this month, Venus will also join. So five planets will be transiting through Capricorn. Moon will have its routine transit in Capricorn. Then Jupiter's aspect is also there. So if we see, literally there are about 6 to 7 planets will be impacting Capricorn sign in coming 1 month. So total number of planets in Vedic astrology we have is around 9, and 7 out of them are impacting Capricorn sign in this 1 month time. So it is going to be a going to be an important time, especially for the Capricorn related things and the things where Capricorn sign falls into your chart. Okay, so that's what we are going to discuss today. So first of all, if we see the planets involved, first of all, Saturn rules Capricorn, and Saturn is transiting there, so Saturn has the upper hand. Okay, this transit is ruled by Saturn. Saturn will have higher say over any other planet which is transiting there. Okay, as Saturn is delay, hard work, perseverance, and Capricorn is also sign of hard work and perseverance. The results will come with hard work and perseverance. A person who is not ready to put his best effort and show perseverance may not get the good results. Okay, that's where the difficulties will be, that one needs to put best effort uh, in this 1 month time period. Okay, then if we look at the dignity of the planets involved, Saturn is in own sign, Jupiter is debilitated, then Mercury, Venus will also be in friendly sign, and Sun will be in enemy sign. So majority of planets, Jupiter and Sun, are in weak dignity. Mercury, Venus, and Saturn are in good dignity. As Saturn is there, it is running the show. It is ruling the show. Okay, it is ruling this conjunction. So wherever Capricorn sign falls into your chart, that's where your focus will shift towards. That is the importance of stellium, either in transit or in birth chart. If someone has a stellium in birth chart, that is also the result. If someone has a stellium in transit, that is also the result. Our whole focus moves towards that house, that particular house where stellium is taking place. Okay, so wherever these 5-6 planets are transiting in your chart in Capricorn sign, your whole focus will turn into that particular area of your life, and you will start getting the result. You may already be getting the result. Like for me, it is third house. I am super busy this month. Okay, I am super busy this month, and I expect same to continue in next month also. So this is what this stellium can do in your chart. uh, Now the events can be from mundane global level, and it can be from individual level. Let's first discuss what will we see at mundane level, global level. Capricorn is the sign of government. It is the sign of law and order, authority, recognition, organization, discipline. Okay, these are the traits and characteristics of Capricorn. Now all these planets in Capricorn can make people revolt against government. There can be lots of aggression against the government, anger against the government. We can understand why so, the COVID situation, and many people feel that it is mishandled by the governments of the world. So there can be lots of anger, and there can be lots of protest against the government world over. Okay, so that is one result we can expect. Then rules and restrictions. Capricorn is also sign of rules and laws and limitations. There are plenty of rules for us, and there are plenty of limitations for people. Okay, so again, people will be raising their voice against these rules and regulations. Okay, so this is also the case. Then the legal agencies, their task will be cut out. Okay, they will be in firing line. Legal law agency or government agencies, they will be in some stress in during this time period, during these 2 months time period, we can say. Then Then even in personal level, Capricorn is the sign of authority, and it is a sign of your presenting your ego or displaying your ego. It is not the right time to display your ego. It is not the right time to exhibit your ego in front of others. Okay, I don't say that there is any time to display. Anyways, we should not be egoistic, but this is anyways not the right time to exhibit your ego. Okay, at the same time, okay, now the good qualities of this conjunction will be like a person can be interested in pursuing law or legal studies. They can be interested in legal research or activism kind of things. Okay, they can be there can be a important judgment, landmark judgments from the court. So because it is also sign of courts, Capricorn, so these things are important, as Capricorn is earth sign. Now if we talk about natural disasters and all, it is an earth sign. Understand what I was saying, that earlier it was in this Sagittarius sign. Last year it was a fire sign. All the planets were transiting through Sagittarius. It was a fire sign, so there was lot of fire all around the world. Okay, now it is in Capricorn sign, which is earth sign. There is a possibility of earthquakes. Okay, there is a possibility of land related natural disasters. So that is a possibility with this stellium. Overall, again, for individual also, for this government also, it is the transit which will make us work hard and show perseverance. Whoever works hard, whoever shows perseverance will get good results. Whoever finds it difficult to work hard, it will be a challenging scenario. Okay, at the end of the day, it's your evolution level. It is the same energy. Capricorn energy is the same energy. It's your evolution level, how you want to if you how you want to utilize this energy for your betterment or for your destruction. Okay, as I always said, these planets, these signs, these houses, they are just the energy. How you utilize them is your wish. It is completely your wish. Okay, so this is what we can see at a mundane level, global level. Now individually, if we look at the look at how individually this transit will impact us, is wherever it is transiting. Okay, wherever it is transiting in your chart, okay, whichever house, your focus will remain related with the things related with that house, for good or for worse. Not necessary or only good things. Okay, it can be for bad things also, for bad events also. So for good or for worse, you will always be interested in always be interested in putting your energy in the house where this Capricorn sign is falling into your chart. Okay, you have to put lots of effort there, lots of focus will be there. Okay, hard work and perseverance will be required in wherever Capricorn sign is placed. Okay, so if we start from Aries ascendant, for Aries ascendant it is 10th house. It is time to focus on career. Okay, there can be stress, there can be lots of hard work required in the career related matters. Your authority figures may not be cooperative. You can have some issues with your authority figures. You can have issues with your parents also, because 10th house is father, 4th house is mother. They all are all the planets from 10th house are aspecting 4th house. There can be lots of issues with the authority figures. Okay, so for an Aries ascendant, this next 1 or 2 months time period can be totally focused on career. Okay, they can be totally career oriented right now. Okay, the another Taurus ascendant, For them it is in ninth house, and they all are aspecting third house. It is good for any knowledge sharing business, it is good for traveling, it is good for any work related with publication, it is good for any writing related work or knowledge gain work. People can be interested in gaining knowledge, sharing knowledge. All these kinds of work can be important when this stellium is taking place in the ninth house. They can travel to long distances, they can go for pilgrimages and all the usual ninth house related things. Plus the best utilization of this transit can be in gaining knowledge and sharing knowledge for them. Okay, if they gain knowledge, share knowledge, that is the best thing they can do during this transit. Gemini ascendant, huge. Okay, Gemini ascendant people are going through a rough transit from last 1 year. If we say from the time when Saturn turned into Capricorn, okay, it is a very rough time period they are going through. Jupiter has also joined there. Okay, so Jupiter Saturn together in Capricorn in 8th house, it is a very rough time. Now all these planets are also going there. So this is a time of major transformation from them, for them, major ups and downs, instabilities. Okay, again, as I always say, we should be always be receptive towards instability, changes in life. If you are trying to resist a change, if you are trying to resist a change, then it may be stressful. But if you are receptive towards those changes, then it can be beneficial in future. So just be receptive towards the changes in life, no matter how big a change it is. Okay, so this is where Gemini ascendant people can be going through a major change in their life in next 1 or 2 months time period. Maybe that change has already begun. Okay, the finalization of that change is in these 1 or 2 months time period. Okay, plus it is also house of business benefits, so they can also gain from their business, that they can be busy with their business related work. So that is one result of for Gemini ascendant people. But also, it is also house of accidents and sudden events. They should be careful about their health issues. Okay, while traveling, driving, or even while walking, jogging, they should be very careful about their careful to avoid any accident or sudden event kind of thing. Cancer ascendant, seventh house transit. Focus will be on relationship, for good or for worse. A person who is single can meet someone. Person who is in a relationship can have some issues in relationship. So it is not necessary that it is a seventh house transit, so you will have a very good time in relationship. Nothing like that. A person can have people can have conflicts also in relationship. The only thing is that your focus will be in on relationship, either for good reasons, for bad reasons. Your focus will be there. Okay, so your focus will be in the seventh house, relationship oriented things. Plus it is the house of business also, so people can be interested in business, they can be having a new business idea also. Plus this thing it is house of other people. Okay, meeting other people. So it is just that your approach to the people, means your reach to the people will enhance. You will meet new people, you will come into contact with new people of different backgrounds and all, and your reach will expand in this time period. Okay, so this is what is for Cancer ascendant people. This Leo ascendant people, it is a sixth house transit. Need to take care of their health. Okay, in next 1 or 2 months time period, they need to be very careful about their health matters, because sixth house is the main house of health issues. Okay, and this thing, sixth house is also your daily work life. So when Saturn is transiting through sixth house, there can be some changes in your daily work life. That means a change of job, change of work is indicated. But overall, person should be careful against any disease, any dispute, conflict, litigation, or debt. Okay, uh, uh, take every proper care for to avoid any difficulty in these issues. Okay. uh, Right. Then, if we go for Virgo ascendant, fifth house transit, they can learn something new. They can come in. They can they can have love romance relationship also. Fifth house is also related with that. Those who are married or in relationship and they are planning for children, they can think seriously about that childbirth. Their focus can be on childbirth related things than like if we look into other things. Fifth house is also your education, so you can be focused towards getting some new education. You can come into contact with a teacher or a guru kind of person who is teaching you something. Okay, so focus can be your education, creativity, and these interests also. But largely it is a transit which can make you learn something new. And also there can be uh, lots of hard work going into the fifth house related things. Either it is because of your children or it is because of your love romance matters. Saturn transiting through fifth house is not good for love romance matters. Okay, there can be lots of stress due to love romance matters. Now fifth house is also eighth from the 10th. If you start counting from 10th house and reach fifth house, there are 8 houses in between. So it shows that it is a fifth house represents change of your job. Okay, change of your work environment. So this transit can also bring opportunity for Virgo ascendant people for change of job. Okay, same thing is for Leo ascendant also. Sorry, Taurus ascendant also, because it is ninth house transit for them. So ninth house also represents loss of job. So they can think about resigning from their job and joining somewhere else. So for these two ascendants, Taurus and Virgo, a change of job can be predicted if dashas are also permitting the same. And remember, this is the transit. Okay, I will explain in the end what I mean by this. Then Libra ascendant person, fourth house transit for them. Fourth house is the house of your home environment, and all these planets transiting through can bring lots of stress, bring lots of worries related with homeland, mother, and real estate matters. Okay, they can have lots of issues going at home. There can be lots of stress because of some relationship issues in home or with mother or wherever they are living. Okay, so this can be a issue for them in this 1 or 2 months time period. And as more planets join, understand right now Saturn, Jupiter, Mercury, three planets are there. Sun and Venus will also join. Okay, Rahu will also aspect. Rahu is also already aspecting. So 6 planets energy. Then Moon also joins. 7 planets. So as more and more planets join, things can get more and more stressful in Capricorn sign wherever it is falling. Okay, that will require lots of hard work and efforts. So this is not a, if someone doesn't want to put hard work and efforts, then this is not a pleasant transit at all. If someone is thinking okay that things can work out on their own, then this is not a pleasant transit, because Capricorn sign Saturn is all about putting your best efforts. Then only you can expect something new, something good for you. Otherwise there is nothing happening through this transit if you are not ready to put your best effort. So for Libra people, as I said, the stress can be around home, mother, or real estate matters. It can be related with your private offices also, the fourth house related, any private place. Then there can be like any conflict related with the real estate matters also. So because Jupiter rules their sixth house of conflicts and is transiting through fourth house of home or mother, so there can be mother or mother like figures also. Okay, so not necessarily mother, it can be mother's mother, mother-in-law, and anything. That will be the focus, the fourth house related matters. For a Scorpio like me, it is third house transit, so it is more about business. Okay, it is more about dealing with people and getting into business and all the things. As I said, this month I had lot of consultations. Okay, there are lots of consultation. I think as we are talking right now, I think there are at least 15 consultations pending. So that is the scene. So as I see, this thing is going to be more and more intense in next 1 month time period. Okay. Also, it can be sign of it can be also the result of traveling or learning something new. I am learning a lot. Okay. In recent time, I read a lot about psychology. I met people who know about psychology. Okay, so interacting with them also made me learn a lot about psychology. Okay, so this is the thing. Then again, the aspect is going on to ninth house of publication. So whatever I am learning, I am publishing. So this is the transit of either traveling for them or communicating, collection of information, sharing information, or any kind of knowledge gain, or business related matters. Okay, if someone has a younger sibling, they can have a very stressful situation with their younger sibling in Capricorn in third house. Okay, now for Sagittarius ascendant people, it is second house transit. Okay, they need to be careful about their wealth in this transit of Saturn overall. Okay, forget about this 1 or 2 months time period. For overall, a Capricorn ascendant person, sorry, Sagittarius ascendant person should be careful about their wealth, because Saturn is transiting their second house till April 2022 at least. So wherever Saturn transits, it limits the things related with that house. So it may limit their resources also. So they should be very careful about their wealth or resources related matters. Okay. Otherwise, this transit can bring lots of stress in their family. Stress can again be because of resources, and can be because of wealth issues. Also understand, second house is eighth from the seventh. Okay, it is eighth from the seventh, so it represents changes in relationship, instability in relationship. So they can have that much stress in second house of family, that it can bring some changes and instability in their relationship also. So that is also one of the possible result of this stellium in the second house. They all are aspecting their eighth house. All the planets are aspecting eighth house. So again, they need to be careful against accidents, sudden events. Plus, this time can bring some major changes in their life. This Capricorn ascendant, for Capricorn ascendant, it is huge. Okay, ascendant always shows your life path, overall life path. And if such a huge transit is happening in your ascendant, it shows that whole of your life path can go through a major change. You can start something new in this life, in life. Okay, you can finish the pending matters, so you can finish whatever you are doing, and you can have a new beginning in your life in this during this year, when so many planets are transiting through Capricorn. Okay, so this is a big time for Capricorn ascendant people. Again, they all are aspecting seventh house, so they can meet new people, they can meet a partner, the focus will be self and relationship, first house and the seventh house. Okay, so this is where their focus will revolve. It is a big time for them. If they have any desire of doing something new in their life, this is the time. Okay, then if we go for Aquarius ascendant people, it is 12th house transit. They can be interested in spirituality and other 12th house related things like imagination, spirituality, research, and all. Plus, it is also house of losses and expenses, so they need to take proactive measures to control their expenses. They need to find out ways to save their money. Okay, so this is where the focus should be for Aquarius people. They should take all the possible care in safeguarding their money in this time period, because this 1 2 months time period, or we can say up till April, because Jupiter will transit in Aquarius in April. So up to April we can say that they can have lots of expenses. They can be in situation which can require lots of expenses. So again, it is important that they should take care of their expenses, losses. They should take care of their health issues, because 12th house also represents hospitals. At the same time, like there can be foreign travels also, and if someone is going on foreign travel, I don't know if if flights are working, but anyways, like if someone is going for a long distance travel also, you need some money. You need to spend your money, then only you can travel. Okay, so overall they should be careful about their finances. Not This is not the time to be spendthrift. Okay, I am not saying there is any time to be spendthrift, but at least this is not the time to be spendthrift. Okay, uh, then for Pisces ascendant people, it is 11th house transit. Okay, all the planets are going into 11th house. This is again the time period where they may feel stress because of their income and gains. They may feel that okay, they are not gaining that much, which they should be gaining. Uh, there can be a change in their location. They can relocate somewhere, because 11th house is 8th from the 4th, so it can change their location. Okay, so that is an important thing with Capricorn, sorry, Pisces ascendant people, that they can relocate themselves. They can have stress related with their income, money. Again, a job change is a possibility, because all these planets from 11th house are aspecting 5th house, 5th house of change of job. So there is a possibility of job change. So again, these are the main things which we will see. The focus will be in Capricorn sign, wherever it is falling into your chart. Capricorn is a sign of hard work and perseverance. So this time will make us do put our best effort over the longest period of time. Then only Capricorn and Saturn are going to give any result. If someone is not willing to put best effort, then things can be very troublesome for them. So that is the thing. Then like uh, best results is only when we are putting the best effort. Okay, nothing. And as always, if we want to pinpoint what event is more prominent to happen or more possible to happen, look at your individual dashas. If you are going through let's say an education related dasha, then your focus may be on educational matters. If you are, let's say, going through a real estate related dasha, then your focus can be real estate related matters. So it depends on dasha. First of all, as I said in the last session, events depend on three things. Okay, all three things should come together. First is your chart, then your dasha, then transit. What we are discussing in this session is the third step, but these first two steps are equally important. your chart should first of all suggest an event is happening. It should allow the event, and then dasha should promise the event, then transit will bring the event. Okay, so this is where, like, for me, if I just give an example, I am in Jupiter's Venus Saturn dasha right now. Okay, so Saturn dasha, Saturn Pratyantar dasha is activating my third house, business oriented house. So I am getting more results of business related matters. Okay, seventh house is also ruled by Venus, so this is a business oriented dasha for me. So I am getting more results of business. See, if anyone is in under creativity related dasha, he will get more results of creativity. If someone is under health issues related dasha, he needs to take more care of his health rather than worry about any other thing during this time period. So this is what I feel, how this stellium may work. Overall, I feel that as this is like 2 months time period, it doesn't really matter what dasha you are going through. When so many planets are in one house, they will somehow give you result. Okay, let's see. In seventh house, stellium, Capricorn sign. So you are a Cancer ascendant. As I said, the focus can be in relationship matters, either for good reasons or for bad reasons. Okay, it can also be. Focus can also be in business ideas. You may have some business ideas, you may like to implement those business ideas. Plus you may normally be meeting more people in your life, like if you are meeting 20 people in a month, in these 2 months you may meet 50 people. Okay, that is what I was saying, that your reach may expand during these 2 months time period. Gemini ascendant, I agree with your views. In addition, I have moon in Capricorn. Yes, so for Gemini people, it is a difficult time period because lots of planets are transiting through 8th house. 8th house represents major changes in life. They are going through a major change in their life, and as I always say, that be receptive towards the change. Okay, be receptive towards the change, and things will be fine. Uh, then effects on Pisces ascendant. As I said, Pisces ascendant 11th house transit. Okay, for 11th house transit, their focus will be on income and gains. They should put best of their effort in safeguarding their income. There can be stress related with income and money. That's where their focus should be, how to save their money, how to not to spend a lot of money. Okay, there can be a possibility of relocation or going away from home. Okay, you can just go for a visit also, traveling somewhere and all, because 11th house is 8th from the 4th. It also represents like your mother's health can be a little troublesome, so be careful about her health. Because of the same reason, 8th from the 4th changes in related with mother. And this another thing, 11th house is entrepreneurship. So you may have some business idea, some entrepreneurship idea, and you may like to work on that idea during this transit. You may have some stress related with your friends also, because it is the house of friends and Saturn is transiting there. Dasha effects: Jupiter Venus Dasha, Libra ascendant, Jupiter retro in natal chart, and conjunct retro natal Saturn in the 4th house. So Jupiter Saturn are in your 4th house anyways in your birth chart. Now Jupiter Saturn are also transiting through there, so it is double energy of Jupiter Saturn along with all these planets. So 4th house related matters are very prominent right now. Home, homeland, mother, real estate matters. There can be lots of stress related with these matters, related with your 4th house. Okay, so this is where you should be careful. There can be changes because you are under Venus Dasha. Venus is first and eighth lord. It can bring major changes in your overall life, and those changes can be because of fourth house related issues, so your mother, your home, homeland, and real estate matters. Okay, all of them are aspecting 10th house, so there can be events related with your career or father also. How long or the time period this effect of stellium? Be inclusive, we can say from now to now to around March. Okay, and if I am little more inclusive, I will take from now to April, till the time Jupiter also leaves Capricorn. Okay, Aries ascendant, career related transit. Okay, as all these planets are transiting through 10th house, it is career related transit. There can be focus on career or work. Okay, there can be issues with the authority figures, your colleagues, some stress may be going around related with them. So this is a major transit related with your work, and you may have to put lots of hard work in this time period from now to April, because it is also a house of hard work. There can be some changes in career also, some changes in work. Virgo ascendant, Cancer moon sign, any special effects? Special effects. Okay. So Virgo ascendant, it is transit of fifth house for you as per ascendant. So it is transit of fifth house for you. Creativity, education. Okay, your focus will be there. First child also, your focus can be on your first child also. So you will be like focused at these things. Now understand what does focus means. Focus can be for any reason, good and bad both. You can be focused at certain thing because of something is going good. I am in relationship, I am focused at my relationship. But if I start a relationship, then also I can be focused on relationship. If I am going through a mess in relationship, then also I am focused on relationship. So focus can be of for any reason, good or bad. Okay, so the fifth house related matters can be of a matter of focus for you. It can be related with your creative pursuits, like you are in media industry and all, so those things. And second thing, you may educate yourself. Okay, plus your focus can be your first child also. Okay, things related with him, and how you see the future for him. Okay, the focus can be related with that. Cancer moon, difference between ascendant and moon, as I always say, ascendant is where the event will take place, moon is where the mind will feel. Okay, so from ascendant it is fifth house related transit, events will be related with fifth house, but from moon it is seventh house. Okay, so from mind you will feel that okay fine, I met new people during this time. Okay, that's what your mind will suggest, that you met new people, you met your reach has expanded during this time period. But event will always be of fifth house. So in conjunction, if we take both of them together, we can say that you can get some new project in your creative work which will expand your reach. Okay, so this can be the ultimate result. Okay, that you can get some new work related with your fifth house related matters, and that may expand your reach. Aries ascendant, moon sign Capricorn, Venus and Saturn in 8th house. Okay, so as I said, it is career oriented transit, plus as they are transiting over your moon, and moon is in Capricorn, moon is again mind, so mind will feel that okay, it is time for making a new beginning. This is the thing with ascendant and moon sign. As I always say, ascendant is what the event will happen, Moon sign is how your mind is going to feel about it. From ascendant, you are focusing in 10th house. You are working hard in your career, you are making all the efforts in your career and all. From moon, the mind, it is first house transit, which is of new beginnings, new life path. So your mind will feel, okay, it is time for me to make some new changes, follow some new path in my life. Okay, so this is the result. Other things of for Aries ascendant, I have always said twice. Okay, planets involved. Mm, okay. Planets involved in a stellium represent various houses in a chart. Okay. Can we assume those houses will be activated? Activation is always through dasha. Okay. We cannot say a transit is activating those houses which these planets rule. So suppose this transit is happening for my this third house. So I cannot say, if I am not under Saturn dasha, I cannot say Saturn related houses are active. Okay, or Mercury, I am not under Mercury dasha, Mercury related houses are active. Nothing, Mercury ruled houses are active, nothing like that. The house activation are always through dashas. Okay, then comes the transits don't impact any house ruled by any planet. Transits can impact the house where they are transiting. Like so many planets are transiting through Capricorn. The whatever house it is for you, it is third house for me. So third house is activated. Third house is super activated. Why is it all stress, mostly, generally not good stuff? Okay, I tell you why it is so. Look at the your benefic and malefic planets. Okay, your benefic planets are Moon, Venus, Mercury, Jupiter. Okay, these are your benefic planets. 4 planets. Even in that, Mercury is like a neutral planet. It can turn into malefic if it is conjunct with a malefic planet. So the total benefic planets are only 3: Moon, Venus and Jupiter. Okay, what is the transit period of Moon? 2.5 days. What is the transit period of Venus? 21 days, 21 to 23 days. Okay, what is the transit period of Jupiter? 11 months. Now look at the malefic planets which are supposed to bring stress. Ketu, 1.5 years. Rahu, 1.5 years. Saturn, 2.5 years. Mars, 45 days. Sun, 30 days. So even the least malefic among them is Sun. Its transit is also lasting for 30 days. Okay. Now in this year, if you see, only Jupiter's among benefic planets, only Jupiter transit is the longest. Okay, but even Jupiter is debilitated this year. Okay, so even Jupiter is not much helpful right now. So that's why all the transits, all the major transits are mostly stressful, because these are malefic transits, malefic planets transits, and these transits are for a long time. Okay, Saturn's transit is for 2.5 years in one house. This Rahu Ketu transit are for 1.5 year in one house. Okay, so it is going to create some stress. Understand the difference like this. Suppose you are standing somewhere and a cat happens to pass through. Okay, a cat. You might even not take notice of that cat, that it has passed through. But if an elephant passes through, you will take a notice. So all these malefic planets transit are elephants. All the benefic planets transits are like cats. So we never realize when a benefic planet transit happens and goes away, but we realize when a malefic planet transit happen. Okay, that's where like we feel the stress that okay, the Saturn is there from 2.5 years. It is going to bring some event. It will catch you some one day or the other. Okay, so in 2.5 years period, it will catch you one day or the other. No, there is no escape. But moon transit is happening for 2 days. You can just simply pass through. You may not even realize where the moon is right now in the transit. Although it is in Scorpio, I know that. Okay. So, but otherwise, uh, we may not realize this benefic planets transit because they just go away. Spiritually, even spiritually, we realize things in our life when we are in difficulty. Okay, when you are in good time period, you may not even realize that you are actually going through a very good time period. You will realize only when the bad time comes. Okay, that is kind of human nature. You will realize that you are not in good health when you get some diseases. Otherwise, it is not that we get up every morning and we realize, oh, we are in fantastic health today, and we are thankful for the good health today. Nothing like that. We think about good health only when we are not having good health. Okay, so this is again a human nature kind of thing. So you are saying why most of the transits are stressful? Because you realize it only when you are in stress. In pleasant time periods, there is no need to even think about it. Ascendant moon houses interplay is complicated. If Libra ascendant and Sagittarius moon, then what will the mind feel, please? Okay, so for Libra ascendant, as I said, the stress will be around fourth house, and money, mother, home, and homeland related things. Stress will be around that. Then from moon, it is second house transit. So the common theme, home and family. Okay, they are common themes. Your family members only create your home members, right? So if there is a stress in home, there is a stress in family also. Here an additional thing is that you may feel a stress around your resources also, the wealth factor, that I am not getting enough wealth. Okay, so this is where the stress will be around you. From ascendant, the events will be related with fourth house. From moon, you will feel a stress related with your family environment plus your resources. Is that why human life is difficult? Cause 5 malefic planets versus 3.5 benefic planets. Yes. Again, it is like I don't like to say like this. Okay, I like to see things more positively. I feel that malefic planets are like villains of your movie. Okay, villains of our movies. They're like, just like villain is supposed to create obstacles in hero's path, and we realize the importance of hero. Likewise, a malefic planet job is to create obstacles in our path so we can realize our true potential. Okay, this is how I like to see things. Okay, so I won't say that human life is difficult. If we are ready for the challenges, we can realize our true potential. Okay. Okay. Any further question? I think we are done. Yo, we are done. Meera madam said we are done. Thank you. So let's meet next week again with something new. Okay, we will find some new topic. No issues. Okay, take care. All the best. Enjoy. If you feel that anyone wants to ask something, feel free to comment. I will be more than happy to respond. Okay, bye. Enjoy your Sunday. Great presentation so far. Thank you, sir.